The following program is brought to you by Pizza Productions.
Oh yeah, what it is, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the podcast that no one listens to. I'm your fucking host, Kevin Porter. Thank God we do not do this shit live. I don't think I could fucking swim live, man. I'm on like the fifth take. Every week it's a fucking uphill fucking battle. It's an uphill battle. It's just, you gotta warm up a little bit. You gotta take a couple takes. You gotta get the blood flowing. You gotta do some squats. You gotta jog a little bit. You gotta do a little bit of phantom boxing. Motherfuckers, this is Kevin Porter, and we're here on the podcast that no one listens to, man. So thank you so much for downloading this episode. And dude, I say it every week, man, but every week, dude, I feel like my the guests that we have on this episode or on these episodes, fucking bring it, dude. Are such fun fucking people to talk to, and are just, you know, I hope you guys are getting as much enjoyment out of these episodes as I am, dude. I feel like I'm growing as a person. I'm getting to know people better. My communication skills are just widening and broadening as, as the moments go by and shit. Every single episode that we do, we're getting better and better. And this episode's no different, guys. We got Trevor fucking Shay on this episode, dude. We got Trevor Shay on this episode. Like, oh, he introduced me. It was Trevor fucking Shay. No, it's Trevor Shay, ladies and gentlemen. That is who we have on this week's episode. Not too much shit to cover this week, man. I mean, we went and did some open mic here this week. Dude, I don't know. I'm not going to go out and be like, oh, this is, the best show ever or anything like that. But dude, I probably, what I did this week, it was some of the most fun that I've had on stage in a long fucking time. I'm really just trying to take the fucking pressure off me, when I go up there and shit. And I'm just riffing these fucking lines and shit and riffing these stories. And I got a couple good lines yesterday. And dude, thank you to all you people that were out there at the open mic here at Sports Center here in Yakima, Washington. Free plug Tuesday nights, motherfuckers. Oh shit. So yeah, I don't know, dude. It was a fun week. I'm trying to think what else we did. Oh yeah, it was my birthday this weekend. Yeah, dude, we went down to fucking Portland. Me and Jessica, we went down to fucking Portland this past weekend, and we spent the night down there, and it was pretty fucking sweet, dude. I've never actually spent a night in Portland like that. I was like, wow. I woke up the next morning, I was like, we went out for breakfast, and I'm just like, whoa, shit. I don't think I've ever stayed the night here. If I've gone into Portland, it's usually just for a day or some shit, or you're driving through, or what the fuck ever. Yeah, that was pretty cool though, dude. So Jessica totally treated me on that trip, dude. It was fucking, it was pretty fun. It was pretty fucking fun, dude. The drive down there, dude, I feel like my minutes are going by really way too quick these days. It feels like 5 minutes. 5 minutes goes by in 2 minutes, It's like what for 5 minutes really is. It only feels like 2 minutes are going by. I'm looking down at my clock. It's just like, fuck, time's speeding up. What the fuck is going on? So it's like you got to really step back, breathe, enjoy life. Enjoy every single moment you got, ladies and gentlemen. Fucking stop saying ladies and gentlemen. Dude, this goes back to our Spins with Kevin Porter days. If you go back and watch any of our old episodes, I always said, ladies and gentlemen this, ladies and gentlemen that, motherfucking ladies and gentlemen. It's like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. So, we went down to Portland. We went to this fucking seafood restaurant downtown. It's called Jake's Seafood and some shit. I don't know. It was pretty, dude. They were on fucking point, dude. The wait staff down there, totally... are on fucking point, dude. You take a sip of water, boom, they're there fucking refilling your shit, dude. So dude, yeah, that was totally awesome. I think the coolest thing that we ended up doing is that we found this this book shop down in downtown. It's 4-story bookshop, dude. It was fucking so cool, dude. I didn't necessarily get to go through the whole entire warehouse or whatever, and I went up to 3 floors and kind of checked up around there, but I ended up in the graphic novel section and the comic book section and shit, dude. I ended up fucking picking up a couple of Rick and Morty comics. I got volume 2 and 3. motherfuckers. And it was hella cheap too because it was Oregon. There's no sales tax. And like I was like, oh yeah, dude, I pay way more on fucking Amazon for the first one. I go look up there and I look at the prices afterwards, and it's like now they're only listed for like $10. I'm like, oh fuck you, motherfucker. So I actually paid a little bit more than I paid like I think I paid like $11 or some shit, like $10.88. I don't fucking remember. But you know, that was really cool seeing that fucking bookshop. And it was like, I don't know, just going through Portland, it was like, fuck. It was a cool city, dude. It's a fun little city to like fucking just kind of, you know, fucking trek around it and check all the shit out. We ended up at Voodoo Donuts in the morning, which was fucking great, dude. Like, yeah, you always hear the hype about that place, and it's like you go in there, and I got the Homer, dude. It was like, you know, the donuts that you see in The Simpsons and shit. And then we got like we got this huge one. It was like a cock and balls, and it was like these you know, like maple bars, but it was chocolate maple bars, and it was in the form obviously of a dick and balls. Dude, yeah. That was pretty good. So we got like 4 different donuts. I got one that was like a Captain Crunch one. That was pretty good. And we got this other one that was like peanut butter and like Oreos. I don't know, man. That was a little out there, but it was all good though, you know. So it was a real fun birthday, real fun trip. You know, I'm just trying to think of what else like was going on this week. I mean, honestly, it's been a pretty fucking chillax motherfucking week. You know, yeah. I don't know. I got a 13-year-old now. That's pretty fucking crazy. Jory turned 13 the same day I turned 33. So like we had the same birthday and shit. And Jameson's birthday was the week before. So this is kind of like the time of the year when we like, it's pretty fucking busy with Christmas and Thanksgiving. Jessica's birthday is on the fucking 2nd. So it's like of January. So it's like right around the corner. You know, we got brother-in-law's fucking birthday in there and shit. Dude, it's fucking busy ass time in the month of fucking December and shit. As I sit here in my office on technically what is December the 5th, definitely reflecting back on 2018, man. That was you know, I'd say we progressed a lot more than we have the last like 4 years, dude. Once we ended Spin This with Kevin Porter in 2014, you know, took a good couple years off, dude. We took a good couple years off up until like, you know, 2016. Well, no, I think it was like 2016, 2017. And that's when we started doing shit again. And this last, you know, between 2017 and now going into, you know, 2019, just a couple fucking, you know, in the last 2 years, you know, I'm not saying we've jumped leaps and fucking bounds or anything, you know, but like I like to think that I'm in a happy fucking medium. You know, I'm still able to fucking produce fucking content on the weekly. I'm actually able to do more now than what I was doing back when I was producing a fucking TV show, dude. You think of all the fucking work that goes into a TV show, and, you know, you ideally, you know, you're like, oh, it'd be awesome to put out an episode every fucking week. That never materialized when doing the TV show, but fuck. And if we have not over fucking exceeded the amount of content that we've been doing on this fucking podcast network, dude. I mean, we've done, what is this, like 77 episodes now or some shit, 76, 77 episodes in regards to, you know, just the podcast that no one listens to. We've done, we did like over 40 episodes of the Dragon Ball Z Happy Fun Time Hour. We're over 40 episodes of the Totally Necessary Wrestling podcast, and we just started that shit in fucking, you know, what was that, fucking like April, dude? We just started that in WrestleMania time, and then we just released this fucking week the very first episode of the In the Mouth of Madness podcast, which is a movie companion, which if you haven't checked that shit out, dude, I see a lot of you fucking people fucking downloading that, dude. It's a very you know, it is what it is, dude. There's 2 disclaimers right up front, dude, you know, but nonetheless, like, you know, here we are pushing out more fucking content. And, you know, like I see the number, like it gives me the ultimate number of the amount of you know, episodes that I've put out just on my one feed, because obviously we have like, you know, 3 to 4 shows at this point now that have been going out on just one feed, which most of the time they're like, oh yeah, you gotta fucking, you know, brand that just that one fucking thing. It's like, dude, no, motherfuckers, no, I'm cheap as shit. I'm cheap as shit, motherfuckers. I'll pay the hosting fee of what I got. I'm gonna utilize that unlimited amount of data that I'm able to upload up onto the website there and shit. I'm gonna utilize the shit out of that, dude. But yeah, we put out like over 200 fucking episodes, dude. Like, and I'm not saying all the content that we put out is fucking, you know, the best fucking content ever. But, you know, as I alluded to earlier, I mean, just by doing this every single week, it's made me a better fucking comic. You know, it's made me fucking better, you know, on my feet in regards to speaking and my enunciations and just, you know, all that shit that goes along with that. You know, it makes I'm quicker on my feet. You know, so I feel it, dude. I feel like the exercises are paying off. I guess that's all it is, man. I mean, you know, just we started this podcast, you know, we were losing weight. I mean, we only started this podcast like a year and a half ago, dude. That's the crazy part, you know. hopefully, we shoot this down to fucking episode 1,000. I mean, that's looking down the fucking road, dude. But dude, if we keep this shit up, dude, I mean, why not, right? I mean, why fucking not? So might as well shoot for the motherfucking stars. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of fucking stars, Trevor Shay is on this fucking episode. I've known Trevor Shay since I was a fucking teenager, man. And, if anything, dude, you guys are just a fly in the fucking wall for two guys that are just fucking catching up after, a good couple of years of just not talking, man. And Trevor had reached out to me, he fucking hit me up. He's like, bro, you got the fucking podcast that no one listens to. Let's fucking do this shit. So, dude, anytime anybody wants to fucking, roll in on this shit, dude, we have the technological capability of doing so. And with that being said, you are going to notice the quality of the podcast. Just the audio quality is what it is, okay? So at this point here, and we all know my fucking shit, okay? Kevin Porter doesn't have the fucking internet out here. I live out so far where I just don't have the internet at this time. And so, like, my only option is in recording any sort of conversation. Unfortunately, Skype is just simply out of the question at this point. And so a lot of the times we have to utilize, ulterior means, and that's, includes recording phone conversations. So, thanks to the people at Google, we were able to go ahead and record this conversation that you're about to hear. Again, fuck, dude, whatever. I mean, you sacrifice a little bit of quality, but the content that you're about to fucking listen to is it's fucking amazing, dude. Trevor, again, dude, he's a funny fucking guy, dude. Like, when I look back on, when we were teenagers, and I don't think I really got to, like, emphasize this too much when I was speaking with him, but dude, he always made me laugh. If anybody were to walk up on the street, ask me, like, what do you think of Trevor Shay? And I'd be like, dude, funny motherfucker, dude. Like, we would smoke weed at my house. I remember this one time specifically, dude. We were smoking weed. We always did. My mom let us smoke weed. My mom sold cigarettes to us, like, sold cigarettes. 25 fucking cents a cigarette, dude. My mom hustled, dude. My mom's a hustler. Fuck. So, nonetheless, there was a story, where we just got fucking high after school one day and shit. And we're just fucking, I remember it was the day I realized that I enjoyed, like, cleaning and doing stuff and having fun while I smoked weed. I was like, fuck, this is amazing. I started cleaning my fucking floors. I started doing something that day. But within that day, I remember us at one point, all of us out on my front porch, and Trevor's just fucking, being loud and funny as fuck. Dude, just holding court, with all of us, me, Dustin, Sean West, and again, dude, me and Dustin, or me and Trevor could have fucking talked for hours on this shit, dude. But we definitely thank Trevor for coming on this episode, and we thank you all, you fucking listeners. Definitely always check out all of our other shit we got coming out. Again, that fucking In the Mouth of Madness podcast is a bi-weekly podcast, so we won't have an episode out this week, but the following week, motherfuckers, I'll drop it right here exclusively on the podcast that no one listens to. Hey guys, we're dropping fucking Halloween 3. Halloween motherfucking 3 is your next movie companion from the In the Mouth of Madness podcast. That is a fucking mouthful. It Mom. When you put it down with the periods and all that shit, it abbreviates down to It Mom. So what the fuck ever, guys. I'm starting to get manic, motherfuckers. It's good to have this shit, dude. It's good to have these podcasts, because honestly, I'll be fucking honest, dude. I came in here, I didn't want to fucking record this opening today. I honestly, today was a real shit show of a fucking day in terms of just like fucking just work being fucking shitty, didn't want to fucking be there. And it wasn't necessarily work was shitty or anything like that. It was just, my attitude. I don't know. It's just like one thing after another. It was just one thing after a motherfucking another. But enough of my banter and my personal bullshit. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Trevor Shay.
All aboard! What it is, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to an all-new episode of the podcast that no one listens to. Guys, we got a special fucking episode today, guys. As you can tell, it sounds like we're talking on a phone, and yes, you are correct. We are on a phone right now. Let's welcome to the podcast that no one listens to, Trevor Shay. What's up, buddy?
Hey.
Welcome to the podcast that no one fucking listens to, dude. Before we started recording, you were asking me how my Thanksgiving was, correct?
Yeah, man. You guys have a good day, or what'd you guys do? Just chill, or?
We had a pretty fucking decent holiday, dude. We went up I hung out with my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, G and Jamie. You remember them?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
we went up there and we basically just had turkey with them, and that was the first time we've been able to really have Thanksgiving with them because they're always in Oregon. So it was really good, man. So how about yourself?
It was good, man. We just I have a buddy down here. When I was in the military, he was stationed with me, and I got him a job down here. So he lives like literally across the walkway from us. So we had him over, and Holly made a whole bunch of food and stuff, and we just hung out and just reminisced about some stuff and chilled, man. That's about it. We just hung out, It was a good time.
That's crazy, man. You've known this guy for how long?
We met back in 2008 when I got to Virginia at my first base, and then we just when we went to different bases and stuff, we just stayed in touch, and then we both got out like coincidentally in 2014, and then I was like, hey man, I got a job here, like, cause where we're at now is basically where we went to tech school, like where people who do our profession in the military went to tech school. So I was like, hey dude, I'm here, and like I got a job as a civilian, like you want a job here? And like he ended up getting hired and stuff, and now he's like my neighbor. So it's kind of cool how the universe works around, and like everything, all the pieces fit together sometimes. It's kind of a small world.
Yeah, dude, that's fucking crazy to think that. Yeah, after so many years and shit, that you guys get out at the same exact time. It's good.
Yeah,
it's good to, it's great. He's able just to pick up and move to fucking Texas, dude. I mean, it's crazy, dude. Like last time, it's been a long fucking time since we've seen each other. It feels like dude, it's like 5 years or some shit.
Yeah, dude, it's been quite a while. I mean, I think the last time I remember was like shit when you still lived off of like 60th or something by the golf course or something like that. But I mean, dude, I drank myself retarded, so I don't know if we may have crossed paths more times like when I've been in town and shit. But yeah, man, I remember going to that old place of yours, and I don't think you guys live there anymore though.
No, dude, that was like fucking 10 years ago or some shit, man. That was well, no, we moved out of that place in 2010, so it's been at least 8 years. But I've seen you since then, like when you were playing with Justin. You guys came down and like I saw you a handful of times here and there. I think just out at the bars and whatnot. Like, well, you guys were playing shows here in town and shit. Yeah. And so I know, dude. It's just like, and then like I heard you guys all moved to to Wenatchee and whatnot. I think you guys moved to Wenatchee though. That was a while ago though, because it felt like you guys were traveling from Wenatchee over to Yakima to play shows and whatnot.
Yeah, we moved. I got out of the Air Force and moved back to Wenatchee in 2014, and I basically got out then because I decided to move back to Wenatchee because like originally I planned on moving back to Yakima, but like my whole family had relocated to Wenatchee, so I was like, fuck it, I have friends in Yakima, but my family's in Wenatchee, so we'll just we'll go to Wenatchee. Yeah. We'll all go to so. But yeah, it was fun, man. I loved Wenatchee. It was fucking awesome. Like playing the shows and stuff with, my brother is like, it reminded me of back when we were playing with, Bad Habit with Eric and shit, like it was just cool because then we got to play with them a couple times in Bad Habit, and it was just kind of cool to see all of us doing our own thing and like just jamming out and stuff. And it had been so long, like seeing everyone hanging out again and stuff. But it was really cool, man. But yeah, man.
So how did you make your way down to Texas? Like, how did that opportunity come up? Was it just the job you were talking about? You just applied and they're like, hey man, move on, fuck it, down to Texas.
So get this, man. So basically I got out, and when I got back to Wenatchee, like, when I got out, they basically gave me like a severance pay or whatever. It's like, I don't know, it was a whole bunch of money to like live off of for a while or whatever, but I got tired of just like chilling for, after about 4 days being out of the military and driving home, because I drove from Florida all the way back to Washington. And
no shit.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy. But we I got so bored, so I was like, man, I need to find a place where I can get a job right now. So, you know, I started looking around Wenatchee. It's kind of a smaller town, you know, so I was like, well, you know, my brother, because Justin had been like, oh, I worked at Walmart. So I was like, you know, fuck it, I'll work at Walmart. You know, I'll see if I can get a job. And like, sure as shit, like I got a job working sporting goods and like selling guns there and shit. And I was like, cool, you know.
Oh, not bad.
Yeah, and like I didn't, you know, it was just a temporary job or some shit, but eventually, like, one of the managers was like, who was in charge of like catching shoplifters and stuff. She was like, hey, you're ex-military and like you're a big guy. Do you want to catch shoplifters instead of working in sporting goods? And I was like, fuck yeah, like I get to come to work in my normal clothes and do that shit. Like, you know, you only hear about that shit as a kid and stuff. Like I didn't know that was like a real job, you know, but
yeah.
So I did that for a while.
It's always those guys in like the behind the scenes and shit, you know. It's like, you know they're there, and especially if you're like shoplifting or whatever, so it's like you gotta be all fucking, oh shit, you know, who are these guys? Like you said, you're plain clothes and shit, so.
Yeah.
Dude, not to like, you know, like to short too far, but like how was that? Like what, I've never like really worked a job like that, so like kind of take me through the day of like somebody that works as a, you know, the person that watches for shoplifters and kind of like, yeah, tell me some stories on that shit.
It's crazy, man. Like, so I got hired, and then there was another guy who was like bigger than me, like tall, like a big like ogreish dude who got hired too. And basically that manager, it's called asset protection, and she was our asset protection manager, and she was like, all right, Trevor, this is Seth, you guys are going to be partners. And we actually went to Yakima, you know, because Yakima is like way more ghetto than Wenatchee, so I guess they wanted us to learn how to catch shoplifters there. So like it was cool because when we got, you know, we barely knew each other, so we're heading down to Yakima. And we just started talking about weed, and like instantly we became like awesome friends. He's like, "You smoke?" And I was like, "Yeah, dude, I smoke." So like it was cool. So we became friends. And anyways, so we went through training and stuff, and we got really good at it. Like we got so good to the point where like we'd be outside in front of the store smoking, and like, you know, Seth or I would like look at someone walking in, and you know, I'd be like, "Hey Seth, you see that guy?" And Seth would be like, "The guy in the black beanie and the blue coat?" "Yep." He'd be like, "He's gonna steal, let's go." You know, and we got so good at it that you could just see, you know, it was crazy. So like, and like, we weren't really ate up about it. Like, there are a lot of APs that are ate up about it, and like, oh my gosh, you stole like a piece of gum, you need to come see, you know, you need to come with me and all this crap. But like, me and him were like, you know, if it was a homeless person, they were stealing like a can of food or something, we're like, fuck it, you know, let them go. We're not, you know. But we crossed paths with some like really crazy like fucking meth heads and shit. Like, dude, one guy, we were sitting in electronics, and like I was leaning down by the phone cases, and you know how all the like little walls like in between where the merchandise is, there's those little peg holes in it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so like I was hiding and I was looking through a peg hole at this guy who's getting really close to like our phones. And like he kept opening this thing and getting like super close, and Seth was on the other side of him, like on another side of the wall. And so I had a good view of him, and he gets up and he like walks off. And as soon as he starts walking off, I look over, and Seth, like, you know, he's like eyeballing me, and he's like, dude, like he mouths, did he steal anything? And I was like, I didn't see anything. And so we go and we start looking through all the phones and shit, and like they're all like, the phone is like, the packaging is, there's like a little flap over the front of the actual phone with like Velcro, so you just open it and you can see the phone. So we start looking, and Seth opens one of the things, and sure as shit, he had cut the phone out of it. Like, so we're like, oh shit. So Seth's like, dude,
motherfucker.
Yeah, well, I'm like, holy shit. So like, I run up front, and like, we always had like a way of catching people. Like, so one of us would be in front and one of us would be in back. So I ran in the front of the store, like out the entrance, and then Seth was behind the guy. And as soon as he walked through like the entrance area, I walked in and I stopped him. And Seth is like, hey man, we know you took a phone. He's like, no, I didn't. And Seth's like, dude, yeah, you fucking did. And so like, we confronted this dude.
You out now, man.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm sorry, man, you know, but you know. So we caught this fucker, and he's like, no, I didn't. See, and he reaches in his pocket, and he has like, you know, the phone charger from the phone, like, that he just stole, like, still in the wrapping. And we're like, dude, you have the phone somewhere else. That's the charger for the phone. And so he's like, yeah.
Now you son of a bitch.
Yeah. And so, like, and dude, it wasn't, you know, normally it's like, whatever, but like, dude, I have a thing against meth heads. So I'm like, this guy's a fucking crackhead who, you know, well, everyone else has to buy their shit and he's stealing. So, you know, we kind of gave it to him and we're like, listen, dude, come with us to the office so we can fill out the paperwork and stuff, you know, and Seth usually lies to make him feel comfortable. I was kind of the hard ass, but Seth's like, dude, we won't call the cops, just let's do this real quick. And the guy's like, all right. So we go and we bring him into the office, and the office is like, you know, one of those doors, like just in the vestibule, like where you get the carts. So like,
right.
We bring him in the office, and he's like sitting down, and we're like, all right, dude, pull the phone out. And he pulls the phone out, and Seth's like, dude, listen, I lied, man. We're gonna have to call the cops, and you're in our system already, so the cops have to come. And dude, normally they're like, what the fuck? But this guy fucking lost his fucking shit, dude. He's like throwing shit. He's like, no, fuck that. And like, I'm on the phone with the cops, like, and the cops answer while he's screaming at us. And we're like fighting this guy, like, no, stay the fuck in here. And he's like, no, motherfuckers. And Seth grabs him by the neck and he throws him back against the wall onto the bench in our office. And he's like, I'm not going to fucking jail. I'm not going to fucking jail. Fuck this shit. And so like, he tries to, you know, I'm sitting here like narrating it all to the cops, like, this fucker's trying to get away. He's fucking trying to get away. And we're like fucking, you know, they're just hearing smashing and shit like that. Well, the guy freaks out and he grabs like an in the wall, like air conditioning unit and he pulls it down on me and Seth. Like he's fucking throwing filing cabinets on us, like all this shit. And he tries to get out the door and, we're like pushing the door shut so he doesn't leave, and there's like a little shovel behind the door, and he grabs the shovel and he like tried to pick it up and hit us with it, and Seth throws him back down to the ground. And so he fucking, yeah, dude, and so he pushes us both down and he goes to get to the door and he gets to like where his hands get on the side of the door and he starts opening the door and Seth's like, fuck you, and slams the door, dude, on his fingers, and he's just screaming, they're beating me up, help me. And like everyone in the store is just like, yeah, dude. And everyone in the store is just like silent. Well, the dude fucking finally rips the door open and he runs out of our office. And like a dumbass, instead of running out to the parking lot and like, you know, out into the darkness, he fucking runs into the store. So he runs back into the store. Dude. Yeah, he runs back into the store and he's screaming, they're beating me up, help, help. So as soon as he ran in, the cops just happened to show up. And so we're like, he ran back there, and we like fucking run through the store, and like all the fucking customers are just standing there frozen, and they're like, he went that way, and we're all like fucking chasing him to the back, and he ran through our back room and he kicked our fire escape open in the back, and he ended up hiding in like, yeah, dude, he busted the whole thing open, and as soon as he came in the back, the cops had a taser, and they're like, freeze, motherfucker, and they tased him. And like, dude, it was fucking nuts, man. And then we, of course, as part of our, so basically, when we have to have what are called the 4 elements. So the first element is selection, so we have to see the person go and select the item, which he did. He went and he selected a phone. The second element is concealment, so we have to watch that person like conceal it or hide it. The third element is continued concealment, so you basically have to follow them and make sure they don't like, you know, pull it out of their pocket and ditch it somewhere or whatever. And then the final element to stop someone and accuse them of shoplifting is called the last point of sale. So that's once they've left like the first part of the exit, you know, the first set of doors, then you can stop them. And so we had all those elements on him and stuff like that. And basically, when all is said and done, the cops took him away and stuff, but what we have to do is we have to basically get all the camera footage of everything that went on, like step by step. Right. So like, we have the...
whatnot.
Exactly, yeah. And then we have to write a narrative of our whole story, and then we have to sign it and like bring it to the cops and stuff like that. And like, dude, it's pretty cool. Like, I mean, it was fun to do, but it's fucking dangerous, man. We've had people pull knives on us. A couple dudes have been, like, when I was an AP, a dude in Alabama was shot and killed because he stopped a guy who was stealing a TV, and the dude just fucking stopped and shot him in the face, like, right there in the vestibule. Like,
whoa,
it's dangerous, man.
That's fucking hardcore, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that super fucking meth head strength that you know, they always talk about and shit. That's the the shit you were dealing with on that, specific day, dude. But it's like you said, though, that guy's fucking stupid as fuck, dude. If he would have gone into the parking lot and just, like, used his fucking head, it was like, all right, I get the fuck out of here. I can get the fuck away from the cops, go hide in the fucking dumpster for the next, like, 4 or 5 hours. Probably could have gotten away. But instead, dude, that's that fucking meth. It's like you were talking about, having things against people that, fucking do meth, dude. It's like, those people are fucking batshit crazy, dude. Like, that shit, like, rots their fucking minds, dude. So it's like common sense. Like, me and you were like, hey, man, strategically thinking our way out of this shit. And yeah, this guy's like, I'm gonna go kick down a fucking fire escape. Like, what the fuck, dude?
And then, so he got charged. Like, he would have just got charged for the shoplifting, but since he kicked the fire escape open, like, obviously they added a charge for, like, damaging a fire escape, in a corporate building or whatever, so he got more charges.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a hefty, like, 1,000, if not more, fine.
Yeah. It's
they don't
crazy,
take
dude.
that shit lightly. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
And all over, like, what, a $20 fucking flip phone?
It was like $50 or whatever, just one of those, like, you put minutes on it and whatever, and like, well, see, you learn all this crazy shit too because you get to know, like, all the owners of the pawn shops and shit, and there's actually, like, in every town, all the retail asset protection people have a group, so, like, they'll all meet up and they'll, like, show pictures of people who shoplift, like, who do organized retail crime, and they know, like, if you're a hardcore shoplifter and do organized retail crime, like, everyone who's an AP in that city will know who you are because they all pass your picture out, and they'll know. And, like,
that's fucking crazy,
it's crazy. Yeah. And,
dude,
like, you'll have,
No, go ahead.
Oh, well, you'll have, it's just crazy. Like, you can go investigate shit. Like, you'll go to a pawn shop and you'll start seeing stuff from your store there, and then you'll have to, like, let the cops know, like, hey, all of our shit that's getting stolen is going here. Or, like, a lot of the people we found out, like, a lot of the meth heads and shit would steal the cell phones and use the batteries to, like, fucking make meth and shit like that.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So, like, it's nuts, dude. Organized retail crime is fucking nuts. And not only that, like, from being an AP, like, dude, not only the shitty people who are stealing shit, like, it makes you really think about how shitty, like, a lot of human beings are. Cause I've seen, like, old people steal shit, like, maliciously, and they're like, they play like they're dumb, but they know damn well, like, that they're doing it and just want to get away with it. There's, like, yeah, it's crazy, dude. Like, I'd say, like, dude, 6 out of 10 people you see, like, are fucking thieves. And it's kind of depressing and sad to think about. Cause, like, dude, there are a lot of pieces of shit out there. Like, it's fucking crazy, man.
I remember back in high school, and I'll tell you the person's name off air, but fucking back in, like, freshman year, remember, like, how we used to always, like, go to Albertsons and whatnot?
Mm-hmm.
But since there was, like, kitty corner from the high school, well,
yeah.
we were rolling in there, dude, for, like, at the beginning of our freshman year, and it was me and this one other person, like, maybe, like, one other person, like, it just kind of varied, day to day depending on, but it was me and this other person definitely, and maybe one other person, I don't know. But anyway, like, we'd be walking to the store, and this one friend of ours, a mutual friend, was, like, taking some bigger items, I think, from him, from time to time. I don't know exactly, like, I can't remember exactly what he was taking specifically, but like, I remember I was always kind of like a little bit of a pussy when it came to shit like this. So I was like, oh, I'm not gonna fucking steal anything, but I'll take a donut and eat it while I'm walking through the fucking store. And fucking so our mutual friend gets busted like on a Saturday or something. So like he calls me like on a Sunday, he's like, oh dude, I got fucking got picked up for fucking shoplifting at Albertsons, and they showed me the video that the people, what would you say the name is? The BPs?
Well, it's an AP or an LP. Asset protection or loss prevention, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, these guys, like, this is like, 2000, we're like fucking showing him the video of me apparently walking down the aisle. They're like, yeah, we've seen your friend coming in here eating the donuts and shit. I'm like, oh shit. It's like you're saying, they know everything, dude. They know everything.
Yeah.
I would
pretty
never
crazy,
steal
man.
from a fucking store, dude. They'll fucking catch you every time, dude. Yeah. That's
and it's funny because, like, our boss at the time didn't understand either, because me and Seth would talk about, like, oh, yeah, well, they usually do this to steal and this. And she's like, how do you know? And me and Seth are like, we used to fucking steal when we were kids, too. Like, I mean, come on. Most teenagers at one point, like middle school, whatever, have fucking, dabbled at fucking trying to get something for free. Like, let's not try and act like everyone's an angel here, So she's like, oh, so you guys used to steal? It's like, dude, come on, I was a fucking 14-year-old kid, It's like, of course, like, And it's funny because you see that same shit, like when you see 14-year-old kids coming in, you're like, dude, I used to be just fucking like that. It's like, But it's one of those things where it's like, you sympathize with them because you're like, listen, dude, like, I saw what you did. You're young, like, put it back on the shelf right now and get the fuck out of the store, and I won't say shit. And then they'll be like, oh, yes, sir, yeah, cool, and they'll leave it, It's like, come on,
most
man.
people will learn from that. Most people will learn from that situation in the first place. You get caught that one time, you're like, oh, fuck this, I'm never doing this again, It's not until you start doing meth is when you do it again, Trevor.
Yeah, they keep fucking doing it, and they don't even fucking know. They're just like, man,
what do you mean I was here last week?
The fucking crazy asses, man.
Yeah. That's fucking, dude, that's fucking insane, man. It's like you're saying, though, dude, it's like, I know we're talking about Texas, and I know we'll wind back down in Texas, dude, but, like, kind of just going back, like, for as long as that, as long as we've, known each other and shit. Like, I met you around that time frame of the donut incident there. It was, like, 2000, like, that summer of, like, 2000 going into 2001, and so it was in between, like, freshman and sophomore year. Yeah, because I remember I had a class with you, Weston, and Dustin. It was Mr. Schaefer's class?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I've had Dustin. I had Dustin on here not too long ago, and like we were telling stories about like me and you and him and Sean West and like all the shit that we used to fucking pull, dude. Like, fuck, dude. Like, but that was my first time meeting you guys. Well, not even meeting you guys, but I saw you guys in class and whatever, and it was through Sean Holmes and how. I fucking linked up with all you guys that summer and shit, and like, yeah, dude, man, I had the fondest fucking memories of us back in, high school and shit, and like, I look back on those years, think most people are like, oh man, I wish I could go back to those days. Like, kind of like, I'm glad, like, to a point where we're done and over with it, because now it's like, shit, man, we could have gotten in trouble a lot more, like, there could have been a lot more serious, consequences for some of that shit, but, nonetheless, though, it's fun while we did it.
Yeah. It's funny because you think about it too, and like, my brother was like, at first loosely involved with all of us because, he was a year younger than us, so it's like, he didn't hang out as much, but like as we got older, me and my brother both started hanging out with, all of us together, and it's funny because he has like, a lot more, he got in trouble for a lot more shit, like, but you think about it, and it's like, he didn't necessarily do more fucked up shit than we did. It's just he fucking got caught all the time, because it's like we did a bunch of crazy shit and like, like didn't get caught doing it. We just got fucking lucky, like fuck, man. Like I remember once, when I had my first car, I was driving. My parents bought me like a '93 Pontiac Grand Prix. It was a Pontiac Sunbird. It's like a piece of shit car. I was embarrassed as shit in high school with it because it had that little beep thing when you go into reverse. It's like beep, beep, so I was some fucking, and like I remember I'd be driving up like 24th, and there was always this dude. He had one of those giant green like lawn clipping like trash cans where you put all your lawn clippings and shit in, and just to be a dick, I'd always pull up in his lawn while he was gardening, and I'd fucking hit it. It'd fly all over the place, and I'd be like, fuck you, and he's like, gosh damn it. And like one day, like I remember I was driving, I think I was with Chad, and we were driving up the street, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna fucking nail this dude's like yard waste container or whatever, and I pulled up on that fucking yard, and I hit his container, and dude, that fucker had filled it with bricks. And as soon as I hit the thing, dude, bricks went flying everywhere, like nailing the top of my car and shit. And I was like, fuck you, you old bastard. He's like, I got you, motherfucker. It's like, you son of a bitch, man.
Dude, that's fucking, dude, that shit's fucking funny as fuck, dude. It's funny he didn't call the cops. He just loaded this shit up with the bricks, and he's like, that motherfucker's gonna be back.
Yeah, I couldn't even be mad.
Fuck.
He got the best of me.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I remember the times that we'd roll around in like Eric's van, like that, like was a Rand van, the fucking wasn't it 83 fucking like Dodge van wasn't that what Eric had?
Yeah, it was like an Astro van. like the old school Astro van, I think.
I don't think it was an Astro van, like that first one, that very first one, the white with like the blue stripes.
Oh yeah, yeah. I really don't know. I remember the van, like, exactly, but yeah.
Yeah, that one was like a Dodge van or some shit. I want to say it was like an 83. But dude, I remember and that thing was like made of fucking solid steel, dude. So like, we'd go down alleys, like you said, you know, and like taking out fucking trash cans and shit, taking out fucking, you know, fucking lawn clippings and shit, and just, you know, having a fucking randy ass motherfucking time out there and shit, you know? I don't know, dude.
Dude, I remember.
Think about that shit. Yeah, go ahead.
I remember, dude, like, Sean West was always, like, a super good friend, and he was, like, kind of the conscience for a lot of us. But, dude, sometimes we just gave him so much shit. Like, I remember in that van one day, we had, like, it was like a Friday, and we were all hanging out with Eric, and we were driving, like, down in the ghetto somewhere, and Sean's mom called on his cell phone, and we all start making, like, loud orgasm sounds, like, and he fucking gets off the phone, he's like, fuck you guys, cause you guys are fucking grounded now. We just start laughing at him, like, fuck you. Like, I remember that shit, man.
Dude, I remember that day, like, exactly, dude. I remember him getting fucking pissed off. And I remember him having his cell phone, because, yeah, I remember his mom got him that shit for, like, Christmas or whatever, dude. And it was a big deal, because the only other person that we knew that had a cell phone was Trent. So it's Trent, and then Sean, you know, and it's not like Sean's parents were fucking rich or anything, you know, so it was just fucking, no, I remember that day exactly, dude. I remember one time when we were leaving, you know, cause like, dude, one of the things I just remember about us, dude, is like, we used to, like, you know, we'd get our crew together and we'd, you know, roll like 10, 12 fucking people deep, you know, it's not, maybe, I don't know, 6 to 12 people on a fucking any given weekend or whatever it felt like. And I remember us always going to like the football games and shit and the basketball games and just like causing fucking ruckus. And like, I remember one time, you know, speaking to Sean West specifically, but it was like, it was winter time, so it was probably like, you know, November or December, and it like just snowed that day, so it must have been a Friday too. And like, you know, we used to always like fuck around on the back of Eric's van during winter. We'd like hang on to it and like slide down the fucking road and shit, like real stupid, dangerous shit. You know? And I remember, yeah, Sean West got fucking like thrown out of the van fucking one time as we were fucking leaving. And yeah, no, like you said, dude, he took a lot of abuse when we were fucking teenagers, dude.
Dude, I remember that exactly because I was the one that pushed Sean out of the fucking van. Because, well, Eric had pulled his van all the way, you know where the tennis courts were, and then if you had the tennis courts to your left and portables to your right, like, Eric pulled his van all the way up to, like, right where that foyer was, and after because I remember we didn't have money to get into the basketball game, so we, like, busted one of the doors open and snuck in, and I remember, like, perfectly, as soon as we snuck in, Trent came in. Trent was the first one to walk in, and the band happened to be playing Mission Impossible. And so it was like he just broke it in and started playing Mission Impossible. So
holy shit, yeah.
So we stayed at the game for a bit, and yeah, we were driving back down that road, you know, leading to the school next to the tennis courts, and we were all sticking our heads out, shit-talking like a bunch of prep people. And then Sean, he opened one of the doors, and he was, like, hanging out, and he's like, fuck you, pussies! And I go, hey, Sean! And he turned around, and he looked at me, and he goes, what? And I go, see ya! And I pushed his ass out, dude. I remember that shit. And everyone's like, dude, what the fuck? Yeah. I got out and got him, but it's like, I just fucking pushed him out of that fucking van.
Dude, that's fucking, I'm trying to, like, think of anything else off the top of my head, because I don't know if it's all the pot. Like, it's very, fucking, oh, dude, okay, so, like, you know how they tore down the old Eisenhower? They built the new one? Well, like, right when they were, that summer that they closed it, dude, so it must have been, like, I don't know, like 5 years ago or some shit. Me, Bert, and fucking Dustin were hanging out at Dustin's fucking apartment because he had an apartment over was it where you Justin, like you and your parents used to live there, like that was at the
Glenmore Green
apartments. Glenmore Green, yeah, dude. So like we're all fucking drunk and shit. We're on Dustin's fucking porch, like, you know, 1 o'clock in the morning, fucking smoking cigarettes. We're like, yeah, let's go fucking walk, you know? Because that's another thing that we used to always do, because, like, you know, obviously none of us, like, all had cars initially when we all met. So, like, we'd always go walk the streets and shit, right? We'd always just go walk the streets, you know? And so, like this particular night, me, Bert, Dustin adventured all the way over to fucking Eisenhower and shit. And like I said, dude, they were in the process of tearing it down. So we were able to maneuver our way into the school through various beams, and we were able to like walk through there and stuff. And like, you know, we didn't do anything like, you know, like fucked up or anything, like smash a bunch of shit. But you know, we still like we were walking through, and like, you know, you remember the senior, not the. Well, you know, like the cafeteria was like pretty much the middle of the school, and then like there's the senior hallway. Well, like the opposite hallway over by the history wing.
Yeah, that was a sophomore hallway.
Yeah, well, there was that one class that was like right there at the entrance, and like it was like I remember taking a math class in there or some shit one time. But like there was tape all across it. It said asbestos, and I'm like, oh shit! I'm like, let's get the fuck out of here, guys. So we ended up taking off, and it was kind of fun that day because like it was kind of an ode back to us, like in like the end of our, you know, like the four-year posse. I mean, that was our fucking crew, and like we ended it in the fucking on the football field on the 50-yard line, like Dazed and Confused style, and like, you know, I lit up a fucking bowl and shit, and like, you know, we sat there and reminisced and like drank beers and shit. It was fun. So
that's fucking awesome. Yeah, that'd be fucking awesome. Like, yeah, it kind of sucks because every time I go back to Yakima, like, you know, Ike's like a completely different school and shit, and it's like, it was funny because my older brother and sister were there. Yeah, dude, it's like fucking, like, crystal glass and shit, like, in the library, and like, dude, those kids are fucking spoiled now. It's like another West Valley.
Yeah, dude, it is kind of like West Valley School. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, West Valley, they have a nice high school too, dude.
Oh yeah, they built that other one.
Davis looks all nice too now, dude. Davis looks, they like didn't tear down Davis all the way, but they like added all, like a whole fucking wing onto it and shit, and they closed that one road down. And like it looks really nice.
Yeah, I when I was last there, I saw that they were building like a whole other thing on the other side of that street where like Davis used to be on one side, and then they were building like a whole other building and like bridges crossing to it over that street or whatever.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly what I was talking about, dude.
Oh,
dude, I know these fucking kids today, dude. These kids today are fucking spoiled, Trevor. So
yeah,
here we are, man. Though fucking 32, 33, man. You don't have any kids, do you? You know, you stayed.
Well,
free.
I have a 9-year-old daughter from my first marriage. She's awesome. She plays viola and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right, dude.
Yeah, she's fucking cool. And, you know, I mean, you grew up with Holly. So. Yeah, so, like, her daughter's like my stepdaughter, you know, so, yeah, I mean.
So
basically, two
I was
daughters,
way off.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, Liz is 16, so, you know, we're doing the whole teenage thing with her and stuff, but she's a good kid. Like, you know, she's like, it's funny because Peyton is like My Little Pony and like rainbows and all that stuff, and Liz is like, you know, she listens to rock and metal and stuff, so it's like, you know, there's a lot of diversity between their personalities, but, you know, it's pretty cool, you know, I like being a parent. It's fun, you know.
That's intense, 16, dude, because that's like how old we were when we were hanging out, you know.
Yeah.
When we were 16, and you just look back on the debauchery that we did, and it's like, oh shit. Like my kid, dude, my oldest is turning 13 this year, dude. Like it's like a week, dude. He's turning 13.
Crazy.
So I get the whole, you know, teenager in the house thing. It's like, whoa, shit. It's like I still feel like a teenager. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's nuts, man. It's funny, Holly told me, like, stories about when you guys were kids, and, like, me and her will talk about, like, you know, because it's crazy how, like, I knew you, like, in the high school years and shit like that, and I grew up just on, like, 31st and Bonnie Doon, and, like, that's not very far from where you grew up, and, like, especially being friends with you, I think it's crazy how I'd never crossed paths with Holly, like, for my entire life until, you know, like 2015. And she's, at a hotel that she happened to be working at. You know, I'm like, you know, and then the more we've been together, she's like, oh yeah, I knew Kevin Porter. Like, I've known Kevin since we went to McKinley together. I was like, that's fucking nuts. Like,
yeah, I've known her since like elementary school. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. That's funny as shit. I know, dude. That is fucking weird.
Yeah, because she's Go ahead, man.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, I don't really remember a lot from, like, it's like she was telling you like stories about us and like when we were kids and shit. I was like, I guess, like, I kind of remember shit. I don't know. Like, I never, like, thought about elementary school in, like, 30 fucking years, dude, or something.
Yeah.
25 fucking years. That's
well, it's funny
crazy,
because I was
dude.
talking about doing this podcast with you, and we were talking to Liz, you know, the teenager, about it, and Holly was like, yeah, I mean, you know, on the like, every year, you know, the photos or like in anything for class she's like, you know, I was Holly Pritchard and he was Kevin Porter. So, you know, we were always like right next to each other. And it's funny because those days for me was like, it was me and I don't know if you remember Taylor Schwint, but
I do remember Taylor, dude. I remember.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like from 6th grade on, it was me and Taylor. We were always the last ones in the fucking line because it was like, you know, SCH and then SH. So it's like, fuck, we were always like in the back of the line and shit. And yeah. But yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, life's nuts,
I remember,
dude.
like, I remember, like, one thing, like, with Holly was, like, I think it was, like, cause, like, dude, I swear to God, I've known her since, like, kindergarten, dude. So I had to do, like, the full day, cause I guess I wasn't that smart, so I didn't get to do the half day kindergarten, I did the full day. So I remember her and this other girl named Lisa, and I remember us, like, hanging out, and then I remember, like, other various people, but, like, not very much from kindergarten, but, yeah, dude, that's fucking intense, that's insane.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, I was sitting at work the other day, and we were talking about, like, how old we were and stuff, because I work with, like, pretty much, I work with, like, anyone who's, well, we work with a lot of civilians, too, but it's, like, anyone who's, like, you know, early 20s to, like, some people in, like, their 60s and 70s. So it's, like, you know, it's pretty diverse as far as, like, I mean, as a whole, you know, age, like, race, whatever, social class, stuff like that. So, it's, you know, we usually all bullshit. I mean, we're all mechanics, you know, we're foul-mouthed fucking shit talkers and stuff like that. And we're sitting there, and one of my buddies who's, like, 41, he's, like, you know, I was like, oh, my sister, I have an older sister who's 41, you know, so that's not too crazy. And, you know, he's like, he tried to guess my age, and he was like, I think you're 32. And I was like, I think the point in your life where you have to think, like, am I 30? I think so. Like, you know, that's when you're like, yeah, that's when you're like, oh, shit. You know, I was like, fuck, 32. Like, I remember when I was like, you know, 17 and my sister was like 30, and I was like, holy shit, she's old. Now I'm like, fuck, it's 8 years and then we'll be fucking 40? Like, it's fucking nuts, man. Like, you know,
I remember turning 20 and you're like, oh shit, 40's not that fucking, you know, it's still a ways away. It's still 20 years away. And then you're like, fucking 30. Yeah, cause like, I'm going to be 33 like next week, dude. So 7 years, dude, count it down, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like, Eric's already 30 fucking 5.
It's fucking nuts, man.
Like, I've known
it's
you
crazy.
guys closer to the 20-year mark, you know? Like, it's getting there, dude. Cause like, if I met you when I was 15, dude, and I'm 33, that's 18 fucking years right there, man.
Yeah.
So, I know it's like, what, just a couple years away, we'll have a 20-year, like, you know, class reunion type shit. I mean, that's all going to go down to, like, what, 2024?
Yeah, that'll be fucking nuts. I mean, I'll probably go. I was actually, when we had our 10-year, I was like, it might be kind of fun to go, but I was, like, literally driving home from Florida, like, when the whole thing happened. So I was like, you know, like, I wasn't able to make it, but, you know.
I think they were a bunch of fucking assholes, too, because I remember seeing, because, you know, everybody, like, nowadays, it's like, I wonder how they put together these, like, class reunions in the 90s and, like, even, like, the early 2000s and shit, because, like, you know, for us, it was pretty simple, and for the 10-year, because it was all Facebook, you know, you just did Facebook, you know, group thing or whatever, and, but, like, I remember somebody was like, hey, can, like, people show up that, like, didn't graduate, you know, technically with the class or whatever? And they're like, no, sorry, only the graduating class of fucking, you know, 2004 that walked the sun dome, da-da-da-da-da, you know. And I was like, oh, dude, fuck you, man. If you're not going to include everybody, then suck my fucking dick, you know. Suck my fucking dick if I didn't go.
Yeah. I noticed that shit, too, like, and it was the same fucking cliques of, like, preps and shit who were, like, all teaming up to meet together and shit, too. I'm like, what the fuck, like, you know.
Like, do I really want to see those assholes anyway? Probably fucking not, you know.
Yeah.
Fuck them, dude. I'd rather, you know, if we did something, you know, it was like all of us get together.
Yeah. Like, I tell that to, like, Liz, too. Like, I'm like, when she gets pissed off, like, 'cause there's a, you know, a cheerleader or something who's trash talking or someone popular or whatever, I'm like, Liz, And her mom, you know, Holly will say it too. We're like, hey, like, the coolest people that you meet are going to, like, pretty much stay the same. And then when you get older, like, they're gonna end up, like, either being a crack whore or, like, having, like, 50 kids and not knowing what to do with life and shit.
Yeah,
it's
right.
like, dude, like, you know, you can almost tell when people are gonna fuck up their lives, you know, and, like, I mean, not necessarily fuck up their lives, but, you know, like, I don't know, man, just, if you're a shitty person when you're in middle school and high school, you usually end up being a shitty person afterwards, too. So it's like,
yeah,
you know.
It doesn't always change too quick, you know. And it's like a lot of times, like, I read a study, I remember talking about people that, like, are really popular in high school and, like, you know, are just, like, you know, really fucking, you know, just, you know, like you were just talking about, you know, they were assholes and shit. A lot of those people, like, mentally don't grow past, you know, what they achieved within high school in regards to that, you know, that just that mentality. They just never grow out of that. They never, like, become a fucking adult. So they take that, and like you said, it, you know, ruins their fucking lives, it ruins relationships, ruins jobs, like, completely, you know, fucks the people over, I suppose. Well, I don't know. Fucks them over, whatever. They're assholes in the first place, so.
Yeah. Dude, did you know Dustin's been making a cartoon?
Yeah, dude. He told me about it. He showed me what he's doing. And then he was on the podcast here, like, a couple months ago, and he was talking about it as well. Yeah, fucking badass, dude. He wants to do, like, stories, like, you know, us, you know, like, well, we're reminiscing about it and shit. He wants to take this shit and, like, animate it.
Yeah, he called me, like, a couple weeks ago, and I was like, what the fuck? And I answered the phone. It was Dustin. He's like, what's up, man? And I was like, not much. And he's like, dude, if I do these cartoons, like, you want to do some voices and shit? I'm like, fuck yeah. Like, yeah, dude, I'm down, like, hook yourself with steam. Let's do this shit, dude. You know, like, fucking, like, he brought up, in particular was when it was like, you, me, Dustin, Eric, and Kaylin Kimes, and we were at that Safeway, and that little kid was walking out, and I was like, Santa Claus isn't real. And then that mom was like, quiet, there are children around. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then that little girl was like, you potty mouth.
I remember that. Like, I remember that day fucking very, like, vividly, dude. Very fucking vividly.
It's crazy, man. Like, it's
fucking. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, man. No, I'm good.
Oh, I was gonna ask you because when Dustin was on the podcast, we talked about that kid named Philip. You remember him?
Dildo.
Dildo.
Yeah.
For short. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that shit. We were making fun of him for, like, fucking liking Linkin Park and shit.
Dude,
we
we treated him like shit too. Like, we'd be like, hey man, just meet us in the deli at Safeway and we'll meet you there. And then, like, we'd all just leave the store and leave him there. Like, he's all like hardcore, like, white gangster now and shit.
Yeah, dude, I haven't seen that kid since high school, dude. Are you friends with him on Facebook?
Oh no, absolutely not. No, but you know, he's popped up on my, like, people you may know, and I'm like, oh shit, it's fucking Dildo. Like, I didn't even know his name. You know, we knew him as Dildo, so it's like, just like how.
Wasn't his name Philip?
I think it was Philip.
Yeah.
But like, there were people who, like, we solely referred to as, like, you know, aliases for a while, because I remember Eric Fur hung out with us for a while, and then since in German we had a character that looked exactly like him named Jens, so everyone just called him Jens. Like, in our group, like, where's Jens at? Like, you know, and then after a while,
dude, I remember Eric. Fuck. Fucking what happened to that guy, dude?
He's married, I guess. Like, he popped up on my people you may know also. But, like, I remember we were at Randall Park skipping class one day with, you remember, fuck, I forgot this guy's name, but he was a Hispanic guy, like, hardcore. He wore a leather jacket. Fuck, what was his name? Irving or something like that, or I don't remember. He was cool as shit, and he hung out and he smoked with us all the time. But we skipped class, and we went to Randall Park, and Eric was like, dude, I gotta take a shit. So we're like, dude, fucking go down by the bushes and take a shit. And, like, I guess, like, he was holding his shit back, his junk backwards, and he ended up, like, shitting on his dick or something. He's like, I shit on my fucking dick. So from that point on, like, Chad used to call him shit dick, and, like, Chad told every girl that Eric dated, like, you know why we call him shit dick?
And she's like, no. He'd be like, yeah, it's because he shit all over his own fucking package. And like, it's fucking funny, dude. Like, I'll always remember
that
him.
shit. Be like, I created like a bowl with my balls, and I was like, yeah, I shit on my balls, you know. Like, fucking own that. And he'd be like, fuck you, Chad. Make fun of my fucking shit. Last time I ever tell you anything.
It's like, dude, like, why would you tell us that? Like, you gave us ammunition, you fucking dumbass. Like,
yeah, that's his own fault.
Man?
He fucked up. He fucked up 200%. He did. You should have never fucking armored, you know, a fucking teenager with that knowledge, man. So, bro, I shit on my dick. What? What? Yo, bro, this guy shit on his dick. Yeah. Never lived that
fucking
down.
Jens, man.
What was his name?
Jens. It was Jens. Jens is what we called him. Because he looked exactly like this guy. Yeah. Well, he was in our German class with us too. That's why we called him Jens. Well, no, it's me, Weston, Dustin, and Eric Furr. We're in German class together. And so, dude, did you see fucking Weston is married now and has a kid?
Yeah, dude, that's fucking intense, dude. Weston was a little baby, dude. And didn't he have like a daughter? Or is he
He has, I'm pretty sure it's a daughter, but it's crazy because, you know, he was like, fuck that stupid bitch. Fucking, he was like a Beavis and Butthead, like, merged together, you know, and now he's like all fucking outgoing and shit. Like, I played a game, like, on the computer with his brother Bert and him, and he's like, hey, Trevor, how you doing, man? Like, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you're not gonna call me a faggot or something? Like, you used to be awkward, now you're like fucking well-mannered, like, fucking grounded.
Like, I'm PC, bro. I'm PC. What the PC, dude.
Yeah, right on, dude. It's cool, you know. It's fucking nuts, man.
That is nuts, dude. Like, I haven't actually talked to Weston. Dude, it's been a long time. Like, I saw Bert last year at, you know Brandon Allen?
Yeah.
You know Brandon. Yeah, okay, yeah, you know Brandon. Fucking, yeah, Bert showed up, cause Brandon fucking lives with Nina, and Nina's like Bert's ex-girlfriend. So, like, they showed up, and like, I went over there, and fucking we hung out and shit, and like, that was the last time I saw Bert. But Weston, though, dude, I haven't seen that guy. Honestly, I don't even remember the last time I fucking saw him, dude. Like, and they, like, when we're still hanging out with Jake a little bit. Cause like, when we all first turned like 21 and shit, I remember we'd all go to like with Gene and Jamie, we'd all go to like Sports Center. And I remember there's like a picture of like Jake, me, I don't even remember who the hell else was in there, like Gene, we're all like taking a shot or some shit. And, that probably was the last time I fucking talked to him, so that was like at least like 12 fucking years ago or something. I can see him on Facebook. But yeah, that's intense, dude. Fucking, you ever talk to Jake Riddle, dude? I haven't fucking seen that guy in probably the same amount of time as fucking Weston.
Yeah, no, he, you know, believe it or not, he's like on my, we're just friends on PlayStation, but he doesn't have a Facebook, so it's like, you know,
okay.
You know, so yeah, I haven't contacted him. I was friends with his wife on Facebook because she went to high school with us. And like, so, yeah, so she was on my Facebook for a while, and I saw like, Jake was like, you know, doing stuff for the church and stuff like that, which is cool. You know, he was Jake, but you know, he always had like, you know, pretty strong beliefs and stuff like that. So like, you know,
dude,
but yeah,
Jake made me laugh so fucking hard, dude. That guy would make me laugh so fucking hard.
Dude, he was fucking funny, man. Like, Jake was fucking, dude, Jake, he was a unique person, man. Like,
yeah.
It was fun growing up with that guy.
Yeah. I just, anytime we were hanging out with Jake, dude, it was always, like, I just remember it always being a very fun fucking time because, like, he was always a very fucking outgoing, just jolly guy to be around. Yeah, like, I learned of, like, Van Halen and, like, AC/DC and all that shit basically through fucking Jake Riddle, dude, so, you know.
Yeah,
that's the guy
man.
that exposed me to all that music.
Yeah, I remember that, man. Yeah, they were fucking cool, man. Like, Weston, Jake, Bert, like, Mark Minke, I remember him too. He used to be part of that group up there. They all lived up like by Scenic. Yeah. I remember that.
I haven't seen. I remember I was friends with him on Facebook for a while, but I think he was like down in Oregon or some shit. I don't know.
Mark, yeah, I think he lives in Portland.
Yeah. Does he live in Portland?
Yeah.
I know everybody's all fucking scattered about. I mean, you're in fucking Texas, dude. I mean, might as well go roundabout and shit. How the fuck you end up in Texas then?
Oh yeah, dude, it's just like, it was funny because we were talking about
this whole Texas thing, and we got completely sidetracked reminiscing about stuff. It's pretty funny. But, no, man, like, yeah, I was working at that Walmart and shit, and, basically, like, it was funny because I was at Lakenheath, which is it's a base in England, and I was there with a guy, who ended up getting out of the Air Force too eventually. Like, we hadn't talked since I left England in like 2013, or no, yeah, like 2012, 2013. And I remember I was going through my Facebook posts or my Facebook friends, and I was like, his name's Alex. I remember seeing him on my Facebook, and I was like, dude, I don't talk to this guy anymore. I'm just gonna delete him. And so I like deleted him off my friends list. And then I'm part of like an aircraft, like an Air Force, like fighter jet mechanic page or whatever. And I remember I posted like, hey, are there any fighter, mechanic spots open for civilians? And like that same dude I just deleted, like wrote me after like fucking 4 years of not talking, and was like, hey man, you want a job down here in Texas? And I was like, what? Yeah. And he's like, all right. And so he talked to the manager here, and like the manager called me, and he asked me like, oh, what'd you do in the Air Force? I was like, I was a 7 level, like I ran jets, all this crap. And I explained it to him. He's like, all right, well, you got the job. And I was like, what? Like, what do I need to do? Yeah, it was fucking crazy. And so like, he's just like, can you be here? It was like January, like 20 something. And he's like, can you be here February 1st? I was like, dude, no, like I have, I have to get my shit in order to like to move down here, and like, so yeah, like me and Holly. Well, yeah, dude, I had to get, everything fucking situated, and like me and Holly like got a U-Haul. Dude, it fucking sucked. We took like a semi-truck U-Haul and fucking towed a 2003 Mitsubishi Eclipse behind it. Like, it was a fucking nightmare, dude.
That's scary.
It's like,
it's scary.
It wasn't bad, but at one point we went through Wyoming, and I'd never been through Wyoming. And dude, I never want to see Wyoming ever again, because it was like, dude, blizzards and like fucking sheets of ice on the road, like a foot fucking thick. And like, as we're driving, like we were literally driving through Wyoming, and we got to a point where there were just cops everywhere on the freeway, and they're like, you can't go any further. Like, from this point for the next few miles, it's just iced up, like the blizzard, you can't go anywhere. So we're like, fuck.
What?
So, yeah, so we had to pull into this shitty podunk town, like, I don't even remember the name. Yeah, we had to backtrack like 30 miles just to find a hotel room. And like, we stayed there, and all morning, like, me and Holly were waking up checking, like, is the freeway open yet? Is the freeway open? And at like 7 in the morning, they had reopened it. And so we're like, we need to go now. So like, we fucking hauled ass, and dude, we're on this freeway, and it's like, dude, like a foot of fucking ice on the road. You cannot even see the road. And then like hills of snow on both sides of the road. And not only that, like, you're driving, and the fucking huge ass truck you're in with the flimsy ass car behind you is shaking. And to add accident to injury, there's fucking like, on the left side, you see a fucking semi truck tipped over. And then like a mile later, there's a fucking motorhome tipped over. And then, I'm like, fuck, man. And like, I'm sitting there driving in my, I'm sitting there like, all right, cool, and Holly and Liz are like, are we okay? We gonna be good? We're good? We good? And I'm like, yeah, we're fine. I got this. But dude, in my head, I'm like, we're gonna fucking die, man. Like, freaking out, trying to keep my shit together. But dude, it was fucking nuts, man. I never want to go through Wyoming again. That's like, that state needs to be crossed off the fucking United States, man. It's fucking terrible.
That whole area, dude, like North Dakota, South Dakota, fucking all that shit's fucking, like, why would you want to live there, dude? Like, why the fuck would you want to live there?
Yeah, it's
I don't
like,
want to
just
live there.
Yeah. No, it's fucking, the only thing that I'll give is Montana. Like, we drove through Montana, I have a few times, and it's fucking gorgeous, but I mean, there are mountains and shit. Like in Texas, like, we can literally, like, drive outside of the city, and you can see for like fucking 100 miles, like straight. It's fucking nuts, dude.
That's crazy, dude. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts, dude. Like, we plan on moving back to Washington eventually, because that's, it's home, and we like the, we like the rain, and like, the really cold winters and shit like that. And like, it's, it's home, is, but I mean, I got offered such a good job here, I had to take it, and so.
Yeah, you gotta go where you gotta go, man. I mean, that's where the fucking universe takes you, Trevor Shay. So
yeah,
fucking, I think, my friend, that's where we will end this fucking episode, dude. to be continued, if you will. We definitely gotta have you on here for fucking part 2, my friend.
Cool. Sounds good, man. Yeah, just let me know.
Yeah,
I'm down. So it was nice talking, man.
Yeah.
It was good catching up.
Hell yeah. Dude, fuck yeah. And like normally before we I get people off the podcast, anything you got a plug or anything? Anything you want to fucking plug?
Just a shout out to everyone that was involved in our crazy shenanigans and hooliganisms back when we were little, man. Like, you know, Trent, Dustin, Jake, you know, Bert, Weston, all those guys. Like, you know, just I hope everyone's doing well. And, you know, if we do have a 20-year reunion, we should definitely do that and all meet up and just, like, you know, kind of give a big fuck you to everyone who were shitbags in high school and let everyone know, like, you know, we're all doing well and, you know, things are going good, you know.
Dude, one last story real quick, dude. I remember when, again, when we all first turned 21, you remember the Warehouse Pub up there in Glenwood Square?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one in the basement?
I remember. Which one?
The one that was in the bottom floor?
No, this was on the main level.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and like, yeah, I think it was called the Warehouse Pub at the time. But I remember, okay, so like back in high school, dude, like if you were to like say when we were all in high school, like our arch nemesis was Mr. fucking Right, dude. We were always getting in trouble with this fucking guy, dude. He had it out for us. Like on the last episode with Dustin, dude, we told the story of the Laudio incident and shit. And going with this guy, dude, just like it was always, you know, because supposedly remember there was that black book on like all of us, like remember Jeff Whitlock or like Laudio said that they saw a black book and had all our fucking information in there regarding everybody in our Foyer Club posse. Well, I remember all of us having like somewhat of a mini reunion. I want to say it was like me, you, fucking Trent, fucking, I don't know, dude. I don't even remember who the fuck was all there, but I remember we fucking saw Mr. Wright walk in the fucking bar, and all of us just locked fucking eyes with that motherfucker, and he saw us too, dude. And I think we were kind of talking like we should go buy him a beer, dude. But even before we had the chance to, he'd already taken off, dude, because he knew that we were gonna he thought we were gonna try to pull some shit or something.
I don't know. He's gonna walk out. We'd be around his car with baseball bats and shit. How you doing, old timer? Bend down, touch your toes, motherfucker.
I'm holding a baseball bat in my hand right now. I'm literally holding a baseball bat in my fucking hand right now as I walk around my fucking office.
It's fate, man. It's fate.
It's fucking fate. Trevor Shay.
We'll get him eventually. Cool, man. All right, take it easy, man.
Dude, you take care, man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to the podcast that no one listens to. We will fucking see you next time.
Straight. He knew that I was in trouble. I was feeling much like the devil. There was something burning deep inside of me. Ran in the day, Puerto Ricans. These girls took us to the fun house where we played a lonely pinball machine. Hanging on the corner, 152nd and Broadway. The cars passing by, but none of them seem to go my way. In New York City, I wish I was on the highway. Back to Olympia. I'm having a hard time understanding. It gets harder to manage. She's all cool and I'm stranded. Something burning deep inside of me. All I know, it's 4 o'clock and she ain't never showed up and I watched 1,000 people come from work. Yeah! Hanging on the corner on 52nd and Broadway. A car's passing by, but none of them seem to go my way. New York City, I wish I was on the highway. Back before I go crazy, before I lose everything. Something burning deep inside of me, running to the Puerto Rican. These girls took us to the 40s. I don't want